Hey guys, so one of the questions that's been asked is how many calories a day should I eat on keto? And I'm going to go ahead and answer also macros because I get asked about that a lot. First, I'm going to explain what macros are. So macronutrients are your protein, fat, and carbohydrates. And it's important to understand that on keto because one of those is really important to minimize, and that's carbohydrates. And we'll also talk about fat and protein. But first, I want to talk about carbs. Okay, so for most people, you want to be under 30 grams for sure to start off on keto. For some of you, like if you don't have a lot of muscle mass, maybe you have a lot of weight to lose, maybe you're not that active, I would say under 20 grams a day would be a great place to start. Now, for that reason, it's important to understand another macronutrient, fat, because you need to like switch your brain around to know like fat is my fuel source, right? So if you have a lot of body fat on you, you may not need as much fat because you have fat in your body that you're actually going to turn into ketones and use for energy and burn that off, right? But you still you don't want to chronically be depleting your stores and be at a huge calorie deficit. So it's important to make sure you're adding healthy fats to your meals to tell your body like, hey body, we're not starving you of carbs and fat. We're going to give you fat so you have these things to run off of. And it also kind of kickstarts that ketogenic production by telling your body like, hey, go ahead and metabolize these into ketones, okay? So calories. This is not a question that I can answer generally, right? Like there's no, the 2,000 calories a day, I mean, that's bogus. It doesn't work. So what I would recommend is that you start with a keto calculator. I like the one on ruled.me, RULED.me. They have a keto calculator. Start there. Now you have to remember this is it's a computer, it's a robot, right? And so it doesn't take into consideration how active you are really. I mean, it says it does, but not really. It doesn't know your metabolism, it doesn't know your life stress, it doesn't know a lot of things about you. So use that as a baseline and see if you lose weight. And if you are losing weight on that, great. See if are you losing weight like crazy fast and you feel super depleted, maybe you want to bump it up a little bit and slow that down so that you can maintain the lifestyle, right? So use that tool and then manipulate it for yourself. There has to be a little bit of self-experimentation here. So that's what I recommend is starting with the calculator, moving it along, finding out what your optimal range is on calories. And some apps that are really helpful for that. One is called Carb Manager. I like Carb Manager for my keto people because it keeps track of net carbs. I think I should do a whole another video probably about macronutrients and net carbs, but I'll go ahead and answer real quick what that is. It's when you take total carbohydrates. Let's say you're looking at one of those keto bars, okay? And it says 1 gram of net carbs on the front. And you look at the back and you look at carbs and it says 14 grams and you're like, what? And then it says minus 10 grams, fiber is 10 grams, and then sugar alcohols is 3. So what they've done, net carbs means you subtract the fiber and the sugar alcohols from that total carbohydrate count, right? So if it says 14, those equal 13, that's why they can say 1 gram of net carbs. So that's what net carbs are. And the reason we do that is because fiber and sugar alcohol detract from the glucose, the blood sugar bump that you're gonna have from that food, right? It's just like if you ate like chips versus vegetables. Vegetables have fiber in it that are going to slow down your blood sugar response. Chips are just going to straight, or cake or something. It's just going to straight spike it, right? So fiber and sugar alcohols mean it's not going to raise your blood sugar that much. So that's why we count net carbs. So Carb Manager is a great app to use to do that. You can also use MyFitnessPal. I use that one quite a bit too. And so hopefully that helps you out. And I hope you guys enjoy being your own little self-experimenters and finding your groove and your optimal range of calories and macros.